lovelies, it's Lex, and I have another speed build for you. So I got the new Sims 4 bowling alley stuff pack, and I'm sure you guys saw the videos I did before that just had all of the furniture items and create a sim items. So this was my first time actually building with any of this stuff, and I had the idea for how I wanted to do this bowling alley. Kind of as soon as I found out they were doing a bowling alley pack, I knew that I wanted to make one that used this technique here that I'm doing, that has the like sunken floor kind of thing. So I knew that that was something I was going to be doing whenever I made the bowling alley. I was a little bit surprised by how large the bowling lanes are. I don't know, everything in this game is like big compared to stuff from Sims 3, if that makes sense. Like, especially kids stuff, like the kids like doll houses and things are gigantic, and I don't understand why they're that large. So I was a little bit surprised just by how large the actual bowling alley lanes are, but it's not really that big of a deal because I feel like I put this on a larger lot than I should have, so it ended up being totally fine. But all of our bowling alley lanes end up being in this sunken part of the bowling alley, and I did that just because almost any bowling alley that I've ever been to is like that. You usually go down a flight or down a ramp, like a small set of stairs, to get into where the actual bowling lanes are. I've never been to a bowling alley where everything was just like all on one level. They were always kind of down a little bit farther than everything else. So I wanted to go ahead and give that a try in this, and I think that it ended up turning out really well. I like things to be symmetrical, so that's why there's like two sections up top that are the tile. Those end up being our like two little bar sections. I thought about changing one of them into a bar and then having one of them be like a karaoke, more hangout loungy kind of thing, but since this is like a big community lot, I figured that it would be better to have two bars. You probably could take out one of those sections and add in a little restaurant if you wanted to. I thought about doing that as well, but I feel like the restaurant pack isn't, the dine out pack isn't as widely used by a lot of people as it is by me. I use a lot of the furniture in that, but I don't know if that many people actually use it for the actual like restaurant purposes of it. So I didn't want to be putting too many like expansion packs into one thing just in case a lot of people didn't have them. I mean, I kind of ended up doing that anyway because I used a lot of stuff from Spa Day in this, but yeah, the only thing that I'm not super thrilled about is that basically everywhere that the bowling lanes are, none of those portions of the like, I'm gonna say house, but of the building have windows. And I also did that just because usually bowling alleys don't have a lot of windows. They're not usually like very well lit spaces. So I really only have the windows in the front and tried to keep everything else just really plain. Just for funsies, I ended up doing two small parking lots on this lot. That was also because I realized when I started building that the lot was larger than I wanted it to be, because I've said this a bunch of times, but I prefer to build on like smaller scales. I'm not usually a giant build kind of person. So I didn't quite realize exactly how big this lot was until I got there, but I believe it's a 50 by 40. It's a pretty large lot. So I wanted to just take up some space. So I made this little parking lot, and then once I was done with this one, I realized that the left-hand side of the lot was also very empty. So I just went ahead and did another parking lot on that side. Another thing I thought about doing, instead of adding in the parking lot on the left-hand side whenever I do end up doing that one, is I thought about adding in a karaoke bar or a dart bar or just like a separate area from the bowling alley, like a separate thing that you could have. I thought about putting in like maybe grills and stuff, but I really wanted this to be a commercial, you know, generic, I am a bowling alley, this is my purpose lot. I didn't want to have too many things just going on for no reason on this one. When I originally placed the lanes here, you can see that the very back of them is not in the building, so I'm trying to mess around and figure out what's going on with that and why they're not sitting in there. And then because I have this as the sunken floor, some of them were trying to like half perch themselves up onto the raised portion. And this turned into a little bit of a mess for a few minutes, but I was able to fix it. I just had to add a little bit more space in here, and then we were good to go. Yeah, I believe the bowling lanes are 15 by 3, so like I said, they're fairly large. I only play tested the one bowling lane that I have my Sims using in the video beforehand, but I don't think that there's going to be a problem with any of the other ones. There's nothing that should be in their way. But I didn't actually go in and play test every single one. I also have this in the gallery as a generic lot. I didn't see a lot type option for bowling alley. There's, you know, lounge and spa and everything else, but I didn't see one for bowling alley, so I just went ahead and made this a generic lot. So you may want to place this and go in and change the lot type if there is a different type of lot that you would rather have this be, but that's what I have it in as. For lot traits, I know that I made it convivial, and I know that I made it a teen hangout for 2 of the traits, and the third one, I don't remember what I picked, because there's not really a ton of like group hangout lot traits. A lot of them are better for like your house, you know, or if you're doing like if you've made an art studio, you'd probably want to do like a lot of the more like artsy kind of lot traits, but I didn't feel like any of those really fit in with this lot here. So the one side I have all of those cute little arrow lights going down, and then the other side I have is kind of like the Bowling Alley Hall of Fame, which is also something that's like kind of prevalent in any bowling alley that I've ever been in. It's usually like one side is all the goofy fun stuff, and the other side has the, you know, the shirts hung up and the list of the people that have bowled a perfect game and this and that and the other thing. I am not a very good bowler. I seem to get worse every time that I go. Like usually we'll buy like 3 games or whatever, and I start off strong, and then the longer I play, the worse I get, which tends to be like a semi-regular thing for me in sports. And I've always played sports, but I don't want to say I get bored, but I think I get bored. Like that initial first game, I'm being so competitive and just like wanting to prove my point that I am better than people and that I'm going to win. So I play really hard that first game to try to win, and I never do because my dad bowls in a bowling league, so he's like way better than everybody. But I always am like insistent that I'm going to win and I'm going to be better than everybody that first game, and then once we do like the second game and the third game, I just don't care anymore, and I'm just kind of like there. Because I don't really like drink or anything, so a lot of people are like drinking and having a good time, and I'm just like, let's get cheese fries, and I don't really care anymore. I'm just here for the food at this point. But yeah, so we have like our little hangout area here where you can try on shoesies and just relax and all that kind of stuff. I didn't see anything bowling alley wise that was like a cash register you needed to like buy games or anything like that. I'm pretty sure that this is free. Like your Sims can just show up. Like when my Sims went, like I said, they didn't have to purchase a game. They didn't have to rent shoes or any of that kind of stuff. It was just click on the lane and have everybody play. So I didn't put any cash registers or any kind of that kind of thing in here. It was just all this, mostly it's just all the stuff in the bowling pack and maybe a couple other things. I thought that since this was going to be more of a like hangout place and your Sims might be spending a decent amount of time here, that I would put in, besides the 2 bars, there is a refrigerator. There isn't a stove, but there are 2 refrigerators, so you could definitely have your Sims go get like quick meals and stuff if they were just there for a little bit longer than you thought that they were going to be, so then that way nobody is starving to death. I did put in 2 of the big TVs as well. And there's some stuff to do here. Like I said, there's the 2 bars. So let's say that you have your family of Sims go out to bowl and have a good time, and you know the dad doesn't want to bowl. We'll have him work on his bartending skill if you want to, or have him cook something if you want to, or just sit there and do whatever. There's stuff to do on this lot that other Sims could be doing besides just bowling. The bars, when I was in playtesting, did have the option for me to click on it and hire mixologists. Like I said, there wasn't any options for getting cash registers or any kind of stuff like that, so I don't know if you will have to hire a mixologist every time you come, or if you can set this up so that it's set up like a restaurant and there's just already like generic people that work there, like NPCs that are just going to be there all the time. when I was playtesting this, I just had my Sims travel from their home lot to the bowling alley and go there and start playing a game. I didn't have any other Sims come in while I was there. So I don't know if that also has to do with me having it set up as a generic lot that other Sims are not going to come onto the premises or whatever, but like I said, you can go in and you can change the lot type to anything you want to. You can make this a residential lot if you really, really felt like it. And just add another flight of stairs and put, you know, a regular kitchen and regular whatever up on the upper floor. I might end up doing a build like that. I might end up doing like a really large build and have like a small little bowling alley in the basement. Like, you know how like celebrities and like certain hotels and things that are expensive will have like bowling lanes in the hotel, or some celebrities have like bowling alleys in their house because they have unlimited amounts of money and like run out of ideas to do with it. I might end up doing that in a build upcoming here. So doing a little bit more landscapey stuff at the moment, just working on the parking lot, because I realized, yes, I have a parking lot, but how do the cars get to the parking lot? I didn't have any like roadway for them to go on, so I just made a little one here. I like to take the little fencing units, like there's this really, really, really small fence that I like to use. You can change the color to yellow, so I usually use that as like the little stopper for the cars. And I wish that we had like more toy cars for the kids, just because there's really only those couple of options, and there are different color options, but like there's only those few cars for you to choose from if you're sizing them up to have them look like a parking lot or whatever. If you heard a weird noise, I accidentally just like punched my microphone because I talk with my hands too much and I was like not paying attention. But we just have like our little walkway here to walk in from the one parking lot, and then I have some of these big bowling signs out front. I end up getting rid of that one generic sign that I have in the very, very front. I kind of thought that like that would be a good thing to have because maybe you needed another sign that it was a bowling alley. I don't know. I ended up getting rid of it because I didn't like it, but we're just gonna do our other little parking lot on the left hand side here, and a tiny bit more landscaping around this parking lot, and that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your day. As always, please feel free to leave me suggestions in the comments down below for any different Sims builds that you would like to see, any questions you have about building, or any specific builds that you'd like, and I would be happy to try to accommodate you. Also, let me know down in the comments if you happen to download this bowling alley and your Sims had a nice time at it, because I would love to know how it worked out for you if you ended up downloading this. And I will see everybody in the next video.